Moving right along places us in our segment called Name and Fame. Host Dr.Sambhu Banik. His guest this morning is Dr.Afshan Hashmi. Dr. Hashmi is no guest nor a stranger to our TV screen. We view her segment called Glam World with Dr.Afshan Hashmi very, very often on our screen. Anyway, moving away from her regular segment, let's catch her with her Name and Fame on our Name and Fame.
Good morning. On behalf of Global Television Network's Women's Empowerment Program, it is my honor and privilege to welcome a notable personality and author of award-winning book, Dr.Afshan Hashmi, in our studio. Dr. Hashmi, welcome to our Global Television Network's Women Empowerment Program.
Thank you, Dr. Banik. It's a pleasure.
Now, you are quite well known in our community as one of the very successful authors in marketing your book. Can you tell our viewers what book or books you have written and what are your strategies to make you so successful?
My first book is this one, The Modern Mughal Mentality, New Strategies to Succeed in India and the Global Marketplace. And when I was writing this book, there was a big question looming up in my mind, and that was how to make my author platform. So I kind of, thought about the process, because I don't have that kind of millions dollars budget that I can hire a very big PR firm and do it. So I kind of started my radio show on Block Talk Radio, and that's how my my following started. I did everything. I do Twitter, I do Facebook, and I have lots of followers on that. So and then what I did was that I wrote comments on big magazines, because I knew that who would take my my articles in that. So but I wrote for Huffington Post, but I wrote comments for Glamour, Elle India, and my all comments are there. So that kind of thing, you have to be creative, that how frugally you can market your book. And as soon as my book came in the market that day, it was the hot #1 new release, and it sold more than Sir Richard Branson's book, because his book was second and mine was first. And it was for 3 days like that, and it was a big honor, that on Amazon in my category it was hot #1 new release, and then it became the bestseller on Amazon in the category. So then I have a Vimeo channel and YouTube channel, so I kind of tried everything, and that's how where I am today.
What is the theme of your book?
Actually, the theme of my book is, you must have heard about the Indian word jugaad. So jugaad is a Hindi word about creativity and innovation, and jugaad has traveled from from India to the Western world, and it's a very hot topic. And all the Ivy business schools like Harvard Business School and Wharton Business School, they are doing research on jugaad, and Stanford, so a lot of research is going on in jugaad. So there was not a kind of book which could bring the Eastern thinking into the Western thinking. So there was a gap there, because jugaad's research studies had started, but it had not gone till there. So the idea came to my mind that why not do the Eastern thinking with the Western thinking and merged it through. So I made the jugaad management principle business model, and that business model incorporates like jugaad, how it gives creativity and how it is linked to the very hot topics of the of business, like reverse innovation, creative improvisation. So that's why my book is so popular, that I have kind of merged the jugaad with the Western world of thinking.
So the modern Mughal mentality, what is the modern aspect of the Mughal mentality?
While I was doing research, I read that the name should be very captivating. And somehow I just didn't want to give it a jugaad name. So what I thought about that, you know, those Mughal emperors, you know, they even practice jugaad, you know, and like Mughal, M-O-G-U-L, is the English form of the Arabic pronunciation of M-U-G-H-A-L. So that's how it came. And since it was written in a modern time, so that's why I said it's the modern Mughal mentality.
Okay.
So it's a mentality of a very, very wealthy businessman.
How the viewers can buy the book?
The book is available worldwide, and you can buy it in Barnes and Noble, Amazon, and any bookstore, you know, as well as, you know, if you have a subscription of Scribd, it is available there. So it is available everywhere. Even a small bookstore in a very remote area will carry my book. I made sure that it's distributed worldwide in that fashion.
I'm so glad to hear that. Tell me, our viewers, about your background. How did you become an author?
That's a long story, because I belong to a very prestigious family of India, and my grandfather was a freedom fighter, and he was friends with Pandit Nehru and, you know, all the big personalities of the freedom fighter struggle, and he was one of the founders of Socialist Congress Party with Jai Prakash Narayan. So all these and he was also the general secretary of the Progressive Writers Movement. So that's how I think those genes have transferred to me, because until my grandfather was alive, I was with him, and there was a philosophy in him that he used to say that pen is mightier than sword, you know. And during the British struggle, my grandfather went to jail because he gave direction to the youth of the subcontinent India. So, you know, like all those literary giants coming and all that, and after independence, you know, like all these Mrs. Indira Gandhi, I have met her so many times and talking to her. So all these people influenced me so much, you know, and little did I know at that time that, you know, a author is in the making, because every time they used to tell me, my grandfather and my father, that, you know, pen is mightier than sword, pen is mightier than sword. So I didn't feel fulfilled in any career, you know, although I was a biochemist, but you know.
You are a biochemist?
Yes. I'm a PhD in biochemistry, and I think there is something with biochemistry and glamour, because I have Neelma there, I have Madhuri Dixit there, you know, she was a microbiologist. So there is something related to, I have to do some more research, Dr. Banik, on that. Maybe one of my books I could do that. So I was telling you that like on Valentine's Day, and that's why, you know, happy Valentine's Day. My first Valentine was my grandfather.
Oh, really?
Yes. So he gave me a book of Discovery of India when I was by Pandit Nehru when I was 5 years old. So, you know, but naturally I didn't understand a word of it. When I grew up, I read that, and every Valentine's Day there was a tradition in my family to present books, you know. So all through books, you know, that's how, you know, I was not happy with any profession except writing, and now I am a full-time author.
So are you planning to write any other book now?
Yes. My second book would be a science fiction book, and I want to sell it to Hollywood to make a movie.
Well, might be you can consider Mrs. Nilima Mehra as one of the actors.
Of course, it could be, you know.
I mean, she is such a glamorous lady. You
of course.
You know her, and she is so popular in the nation's capital. You know?
Yes, and I will interview Neelma in my upcoming radio show.
Okay. Oh, radio show. Let me ask you about that. You are planning to have a new radio called Women to Women.
No, this is the network called, which is a very famous network. The name of the radio station is Women to Women Network.
Okay.
And it is the largest network in the world. And my show will be syndicated. They have like millions of listeners. And this radio show also had a radio show called Hollywood Talk. and LA Celebrity Talk. So those kind of radio shows are here. So I am on their network, Women to Women Network, which has all women listeners and some men listeners also who are on into women empowerment, you know. So I would be giving every Tuesday from 3 to 4. I would be coming live there and it will be syndicated worldwide. My producer is a media mogul.
When it starts?
It starts on this coming Tuesday, 2/16, 3 to 4, and whole world can see that because you know it would be a live telecast to whole world, as well as it will go into podcast on iHeartRadio.
Can you tell our viewers exactly how can they tune in?
Yes, they can tune in through the Skype, you know, and the name of, if they go to Women to Women Network, they'll see all the details there that how they can look at that.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, so you have been a biochemist. No?
Yes,
okay,
yes.
And from biochemistry, you went to writing.
Yes, yes.
There. You also had, when I went to Google search of yours about your life, you know, that you had been very active from the age of 5 and 10, that you have done a lot of things that science and technology. So my next question to you is that besides writing books and these very popular books that you mentioned, it was a bestseller.
Yes, on Amazon in a category, yes.
Then you also have been involved in speaking, you are entrepreneur, you also do makeup and beauty products. Can you tell in brief exactly what other activities you do besides writing books?
This all activities evolved because I was trying to make my author platform and I was diversifying my portfolio. So all of a sudden I thought, you know, why not review the makeup and beauty products? So I would buy, you know, every woman likes makeup and I love makeup, you know. So I would go to CVS or anywhere and I would buy the makeup product, you know, and I would review that. And all of a sudden that became very popular, you know. It showed my creativity. Then I started reviewing books, you know, because I was trying to show to the audience that, well, you know, I'm writing a book, but at the same time I have some literary thing. How do I prove, you know, in a frugal way that, you know, I can do this? So that's how all this story started. And I'm a regulatory affairs person, you know, as related to FDA products. I know how to, I know the regulatory requirements of FDA. So I had a company where I used to consult pharmaceutical companies on that. But right now I'm a full-time author, you know, and many of the case studies, if you read my book, will be influenced by biotechnology. So that's what it is.
Can you give few quotes from your book? Some of the important quotes.
Okay.
So that people can, you know,
the first one, viewers, is from a very famous person, Dr. Vijay Govindarajan. And Dr. Vijay Govindarajan is Cox Distinguished Professor at Tuck School of Business at Dartmouth College and Marvin Bower Fellow at Harvard Business School, the New York Times and Wall Street Journal best-selling author. And he's known as VG. And VG says, and I quote, brilliant and a must read for everyone, and I unquote, Dr. Vijay Govindarajan. If you Google him, you'll find like he's a very famous person. Then one of my most favorite person is, you know, Nasiruddin Shah, the film actor, his elder brother, who's currently the vice chancellor of my alma mater from where I studied, Aligarh Muslim University. And, you know, I just love General Shah about his vision and everything.
Okay, Dr. Hashmi, we have got 1 minute left, so I want you to summarize about your book, about your activities, so that viewers can learn more about you.
Okay.
The
So
1 minute 60 seconds is for you.
okay, so I am a best-selling author as well as a radio personality, and my show comes Glam World with Dr.Afshan Hashmi every month on GTV. So that's how I would summarize my personality, and my next book will be coming by the early next year, science fiction book, and hopefully I keep my fingers crossed that it will, I want to make it a film because I psych my mind. This one was the thing, best-selling author, and the next one would be making a film in Hollywood.
Well, it was my pleasure meeting you this morning and hearing about your best-selling book and also your multi-dimensional activities, especially radio show that you are having, Women to Women program. I wish all the success in your radio program.
Thank you so much, Dr. Banik. It's a pleasure, you know, meeting you and talking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.